Um, Women should stop having ex. And um, I really want to talk about it. And I know this sounds crazy, but I really feel like there are so many things going on with women right now, especially with um, women that still want to be in relationships or still want to look for men, because it just came to my attention that there's a woman that was paying $10,000 to the I think he's a creator here on TikTok, Anwar White or something like that. The He's like a queer, I guess that's the right word to use, a queer dating coach. And I was just flabbergasted at, a woman spending $10,000 to yeah, that's just insane to me. And this is what I mean, because I tried to talk about Anwar White. Well, I think that's his name. I know his name is Anwar. If I'm wrong with the last name, y'all let me know. Hey ladies, how y'all doing in the comments? But I remember I tried to talk about Anwar before, and I got called a hater. And I said the same thing that I always say about men that try to cater to women or try to cater to black women specifically. I remember saying that there's no way that this man really don't care about black women or whatever. It's just like a money thing. And then I saw all these black women were coming out the, closet telling me that, oh, I'm hating on this man. He's trying to help black women. And when I went to his website and I saw all the prices and money that he was charging black women and that he was making money off of it, I was like, I can guarantee you that he really doesn't care about black women if, he's charging $10,000 for coaching or dating classes or whatever he's doing. Because I was like, I understand that sometimes you make content or you're doing things like this that now is your career and you may need some money to sustain your life. That's cool. But $10,000 per woman, be for real. Be for real. You know what I'm saying? And I remember everybody tearing me up. And it's crazy because the same woman that gave Anwar $10,000, I promise you she would not have given it to a black woman, a dating coach that's a woman. And honestly, I really do believe that that's also kind of like a form of being a pick me, truthfully, because I wish that more black women will understand the reason why you wouldn't pour that into your sister or another black woman, but you would have no problem giving up the bread so quickly to a man, to a black man or a man in general, is because you subconsciously or maybe out in the open do not respect black women the way you respect men. And that's a sad situation. And that's all I ever try to get women to understand. But hopefully they get what I'm saying. But anyway, what I want to talk about is that the $10,000 from Anwar. I'm sorry, I forgot to put it on the topics here. That number one, women should stop having sex with men while they are dating. If you are a woman that is dating, you should stop having sex. Period. We could talk about why. Number two, I saw a live today where, hey, how y'all doing, ladies? Hey, how you doing, Simply Caramel? Hey, T. I saw this live, right? And this woman was going back and forth with this black guy. It was a black woman, a black man. And they were going back and forth having a debate. And he was saying, okay, I know that you don't know how to respect your man. You don't respect men because you don't know how to submit to me and let me take the lead right here in the conversation. And I'm thinking to myself, like, as a man, why do you expect submission from random women? You think that a black woman is supposed to just let you do whatever, say whatever, just because you're a man? Like, I have no idea, like, why these men think that. Because my thing is that if whenever you hear black women talk about how black men should stand up for black women and protect black women, if they see a black woman out in the street getting harassed or assaulted, those black men will turn around and say, I ain't protecting you. I don't know you. I don't protect what I can't correct and all of this other stuff. But for some reason, you think a woman is supposed to just bend over and get on her hands and knees and submit to you or give you this respect because you're a man and she don't know you from a can of paint. You're not her man. You're not her brother, daddy, cousin, nephew, son. You don't pay her bills. You don't provide for her, but she's supposed to submit to you for like, I don't understand this whole idea of men expecting submission from random women or expecting to be talked to or treated in a certain type of way. That is so insane to me. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And oftentimes I really wish that this particular thing is for women really specifically that are still interested in men, interested in dating men, that you have not, that you're open to it. You don't have to be dating a man right now, but if you are still open to dating a man, I'm telling you, the first step as a woman in choosing better is to not have intercourse. No X, no X, no X, no X, oh, no X, no X, no schmex, none at all with any of these men. And we could talk about why, but honestly, people don't want to admit the truth about this because people want to make it like, I understand that we're all schmexual beings and we all have desires and things of that nature. But if you would use self-control as a woman and actually not have intercourse while dating, you could eliminate at least 75 to 80% of men that need you no good, that mean you no good off the rip, off top, because those men would not even stay long enough to even, because sometimes when you're a woman and you tell men like, hey, no, I'm not having intercourse. Well, what's to say that he just won't be around and he'll just pretend until you decide to? Most men won't even put in that much effort to even wait around until you decide to. Because then they'll tell you, oh, well, they can be having intercourse with the other girls and then wait on you. Most men won't even do that because once they realize that intercourse is off the table, their energy will shift. No texts, no places to go for dates, no conversation, no anything. You'll see the energy will completely change. So that'll let you know already what they were ready for, what they were on it for. I promise you. What one simple thing could eliminate the majority, if not all, of men that mean you no harm. Absolutely, it eliminates the men that don't like you. For sure, T. Because my thing is that you will know if a man really likes your company or likes you by if he is still around, if he still wants to kick it, if he still wants to hang out, knowing there will be no intercourse on the table. Truthfully. And that is like one of the biggest tools that you have in your arsenal as a woman. It's also a tool that you have to get to know a man's true character. It's a tool that you have to protect yourself. It's a tool that you have to control the situation, the interactions between you and him. It's a tool for you to not let things get too deep and so that you can see things clearly. It's an invaluable tool. M, you said, who are these men? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. But anyway, yeah, so I would like to talk about that. And also, like I said, I really want to talk about the fact that there are women out here paying a man that is, G to link them up with men, and you're actually paying them a lot of money. For me, I just don't understand why Black women are constantly looking for a Black male savior, a Black male, confidant and daddy role for them. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't imagine anybody that would do that. Like, that's so crazy to me. You could have took that $10,000 and went on a trip. You could have took that $10,000 and invested it in yourself or your business or whatever goals and dreams and aspirations that you have. Heck, you could have spent it on $10,000 worth of Chipotle bowls from Chipotle. And it would have been better spent than giving it and putting it in his pocket. I don't understand it. But you know what? I personally knew he was disingenuous when he was, when I saw him doing all these little viral videos where he was talking about how white tea men loved black women. He was like, yes, girl, you waiting on these black men to be with you. You need to be getting with these white tea men. But then when I went to his his website or whatever, the couples that he had managed to put together that had gotten married were black men and black women. I was thinking to myself, like, wait a minute now. But that was a little while ago, so maybe his website has changed. Hey, how you doing, supervillain? But I was really, really, I thought it was weird that he was marketing white tea men to black women, and those were the video clips that was going viral, which I understand because black women are tired of Negroes because they be acting up, which I get it. But I did think it was weird that I went on his site and his couples that were quote unquote successful were black men and black women. So I was like, at what point what are you trying to do? Are you trying to go viral? Or are you trying to really help black women? And anybody that is really trying to help black women, their pricing wouldn't be 10 racks. Because you don't need 10 racks. You don't. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the gifts. You don't need it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, so that's really what I want to talk about. Like, I really wish that we could get black women to unpack their desire to hear things from men that a fellow black woman has probably told them 3 bajillion times over and over and over, over and over again. But all of a sudden it's like, okay, look, a black woman can be crossing the street and a black woman could have said, hey sis, make sure you look both ways before you cross the street. And then there'll be a man on the other side because she about to cross again and he'll say, hey, you know what? Make sure you check out both sides of the street before you walk across. She'll be like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it like that, King. Never thought about it like that. Hey, do you think that I can cash app you and send you $3 million for that information? It's like, what? Like, I it's very upsetting to me, like, for real. Oh my goodness. Yes, and supervillain, I need a voice changer right now. I do, because that's probably what would get them to listen. All I got to do is sound like a man. Like I said, it's just like it's very upsetting to me though, truthfully, because to see everybody make bank off of black women, and then the thing about it is that they not saying nothing that a sister haven't said a million times, and that's why I don't care if black women make money or anything like that. I don't know. I just feel some type of way about men making money off of black women. I don't know. It's just something that grinds my gears and turns my stomach about it. I don't like it. I don't like it because I just always feel like, black men come around only when they can use or take something from black women. But it's never anything that they're doing that's completely altruistic or completely just like out of the goodness of their heart. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, like I said, that just blew me. But like I said, anytime I've tried to speak out about men that do things like that, it'll always be a lot of black women that'll tell me to shut up and be quiet and that I'm hating and, let these black men continue to, grape and pillage the community of black women. Because I promise I talked about Anwar. I wonder if I still got that video. I know that I do. I think I put it on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go look at my old videos, but I definitely talked about him. And I talked about the fact that I felt like he was preying on the loneliness of black women. And that's another thing that I don't like is that they prey on the loneliness of black women knowing that they probably don't have any solutions to it. And that is also upsetting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, not every black woman is lonely, and I'm not saying that. I know that there are plenty of black women that have, enriching and fulfilled lives, but there are a lot of black women that, are going through it. And there are a lot of black women that internalize the things that they see on social media, on TV, in the media, in real life. And, A lot of these men, if they are smart men, if they are men that pay attention, they know that Black women need something. They need kind words, they need validation, they need companionship, friendship, maybe a romantic partner, a lover, or whatever. And they prey on a very vulnerable demographic. It's just like when you go get in those pick me lives, like a Janine, just a girl, or like the real Jane or whatever, and they're so desperate and thirsty, like real Jane is so desperate and thirsty for a man. And then you got what's her name, Janine, she's also desperate and thirsty. If you see her husband who looks like a literal wrong turn, or like he's missing several chromosomes, you see those women, and those women are very, very vulnerable, actually, because women like that are in desperate need, and they're willing to do anything to get anything. And it's actually real sad. Hey, how you doing, Hot Box? Yeah, it's just really sad, like I said, to see Black women taken advantage of over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes Black women aren't even aware that they're being taken advantage of. But my thing is that I can't see myself listening to a man that does not even desire women sexually to tell me what men do or do not like. Like, how would you know? You don't even like women. No disrespect, but it's just like, how would you know? Like, how would you know what men are looking for in that type of partnership? Like, that's not what you on. Like, you don't like women. Like, you may like women as friends and stuff, but you don't like women like that. Like, women don't get you going. So it's like, why would I listen to you? I think that, like, no, I don't think that people should listen to someone try to advise them and they don't have what you're looking for. If you get what I'm saying, if they don't have what you want to get and they trying to tell you how to get it, why would you listen? You know what I'm saying? It's just like the dating coaches or the women that come up here and tell you how to get married and how to find a man, and they don't got one. Like, how are you gonna tell her? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? No disrespect either. I'm just saying, I don't believe it's just like, and I think that sometimes with relationships, people don't look at it like that, but they look at it like that with everything else. Because if I told you that I want to be your financial advisor, right? And I want you to invest $50,000 into me, and I'm going to show you how to do this and that and the third with your money, but I'm broke. I don't have anything. I don't even have $1. You would not give me your money. You would not give me your money. You would say, excuse me, brokey. How you going to tell me how to get money and you don't even got the $50,000 that you asking me for? You get what I'm saying? But for some reason, when it comes to like relationships or partnerships or advice or whatever, people just still be listening to people that don't have no business doing no advising. Or they don't even have a list of nothing successful behind them. Like, I didn't see people calling themselves marriage counselors, and either they don't got no marriage or they got several divorces. Why are you listening to them? That's the wrong person. That's the wrong person to listen to. But anyway, I don't know. I just feel like giving somebody 10 racks with the promise of possibly finding you somebody is just foolish. Hey, how you doing, Cookie? Let me see. And I think that happens a lot too, y'all, with manosphere. Like manosphere dudes, like half the dudes that be on this app talking crazy, like about women, either have a woman that's unhappy that they done cheated on a million different times, or they're not married or partnered with nobody at all, or they can't get a woman to save their life. All women don't like them and think they're unattractive, and they be on here 24/7 trying to tell men what to look for and what they should expect out of women. Like, how you know, sir? Like, you can't get a woman to save your freaking life. You can't get a woman to touch you. You can't get a woman to look your way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just wish that Black women would be delivered from this, like, I guess naivete. Is that the right word? of I think so, of Black women. Like, honestly, we got to stop, man. Because listen to everybody, trusting everybody, that isn't even in our position. I just feel like, I don't know. And I hope this lady's union is blessed. The lady that paid the $10,000, because she certainly paid for it. So I hope that she's happy and successful in her relationship and engagement and stuff like that. I'm not here to hate on her. You know, if she likes it, I love it. I hope that everything works out great. But I do think that that's literally insane. And if this man really cared about Black women finding love and stuff, and he really did feel like he had like the keys to success, then why would he be charging such an exorbitant amount? Why wouldn't you make your services more, accessible? Because in this climate that we're in right now, $10,000 for the average person is actually almost unobtainable. And he knows that. I know that he probably has multiple streams of income since people listen to him on social media. You don't have to charge that much, bro. And if you were going to charge that much, you could charge the unseasoned that amount. Market your services to them too. And charge them the high amounts, and charge the lower amounts to the Black women. Charge them like $200. You know what I'm saying? Charge them $150. Charge the unseasoned $20K to make up for the fact that you're not charging Black women anything. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, did you have something to say, T?
Hey, what's up, girl? Oh, Lord have mercy. When I heard that story, I don't know if I sent it to you. I thought I inboxed that story to you. I was in disbelief. Honestly, I did feel sad for the woman. And she's just so happy. Like, you can see in her face, like, she genuinely believed, like, the money was worth it. She's getting married within a year. And of course, a couple of other thoughts came to my mind was, hopefully this woman is not lying and trying to promote this man. And then now you're going to have just a flood of Black women just opening up their checkbooks of $10,000, $20,000 to this man. Like, I really hope not.
I don't know, girl. I clicked on her profile. She was in a live with two other women, and they was talking about it, and they was giving me. It was looking a little scammy in there, but
See?
yeah.
See, that was one of the things that came to my thought. It came to my thought, and I find it funny that when you be talking about marriage advice as a married woman that been married for 15 years to a good man, I don't see no one whipping out of cash. To a good man. I don't see no one whipping out of cash, a checkbook saying, "Yo, Trigger, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 to help me get a husband." I don't even have a cash out when I'm talking about married men for money, and I got engaged and got married a ring. Oh my God! Like, I would say that is a lot of money. That could have went to vacation. That could have went to a car, a house. Yeah, that was like really like sad for me to hear. And it goes to show how no matter what kind of man it is, he will profit off of a woman. Or it's like Black women, like, the laughing stock. Like, anybody can come swinging and make a quick buck off a Black woman, and preying on their vulnerability, preying on their loneliness and desperation for companionship. When in reality, if these dating coaches are as good as they claim they are, you probably wouldn't even need to actually charge these women if you sincerely trying to help. Me personally, like I said, I don't even have a cash app. I sincerely like to help Black women, my fellow sisters, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving free legal advice instead of them going to school and finding this out. The advice I'm giving attorneys would charge you for. And here I am looking like, I feel like a fool. I'm out here giving these advice for free, and this G-man made like $10,000. Really? This G-man made like $10,000. Really? But that really shows you who's genuine and who's not. I don't believe that he's genuine. When I seen that, oh, I'm a dating coach, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think all these dating coaches are like somewhat scamming. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't trust dating coaches anymore.
Yeah, I
I
don't
never
either.
did in the first place. Do I think some of them are sincere? And writing a book and all this other stuff. Yeah, I do think some of them are very much sincere, but I don't know. It's like too many of them, especially on this app, because anyone can say, yeah, I'm a dating coach with no type of lick of credentials. They said that Kevin Samuels was a beauty consultant and he was not even hired as a professional. He's nowhere near a professional beauty consultant. He was just a dude in a suit with glasses on talking shit.
You know
That's
what?
all he was doing.
That reminds me of this is another person that they tore me up about. I remember back in the day, this was like when I had my old page. I remember Kitty Rose. This was before she had a husband or anything. She was doing all this like dating coaches and dating classes and talking about how she was going to help black women unlock their classy side and all of this other stuff. And then I remember I told people, and this was back then, it was a long time ago. I said, hey man, y'all got to stop listening to these black women that try to tell you that the way that you get a man is to change everything that you are, not be
Right.
yourself. You got to do all of this stuff because that's
Nope.
not the way to go. The way to go is to find somebody that loves you the way that you are. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to be, ignorant or whatever, or mean or nasty, but you're supposed to be you, who you are, and somebody out there will like who you are as you are. And I remember
Right.
saying that I thought she was fake and stuff. And I remember a whole bunch of her followers, because I had made this video on TikTok, it was a long time ago. They had all came to my page talking crazy to me, and I was cool because she was still popular back then, way more popular than me. So I knew that it was gonna happen. She even came to my page and told me like I was a hater and all of
Oh
that stuff.
wow.
And then
Really?
so then I remember when all of this stuff about tonight's conversation or whatever came out, and they showed that little video clip of her, how she had that little bit of liquor in her. She was with that dude, and she was talking about how she loved to eat men's butt and all that other crazy stuff. And
Wait a
Wild ain't
minute.
acting like a straight
Wait,
304.
we talking about Rose. Oh, that one. Oh
Kitty
Lord
Rose,
have
yeah,
mercy.
her.
The conversation, whatever,
Yeah,
late night. Listen,
the
I
dark
cannot
skinned one.
stand.
Yeah,
I
the dark
couldn't
skinned
stand
sister.
that. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand that. But keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, she when I seen that video of her and she was over there, because I know it's two Roses. This and the other girl that was there too. I think her name is Rose or something too. The light, I gotta say, I guess she was light to brown skin, but not her, the dark skinned one. But yeah, I remember seeing that little video of her and she was acting all crazy and talking about, eating booty and liking to be peed on and all of that other stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. But you was the same lady over here trying to shame black women for just being themselves, actually talking about they got it. And I knew everything that she was talking about was fake. Because anytime people want to make money, there's like two things that people come to the black community to make money. They make money faking like they Christians, talking about some Jesus, 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 God, God, God. I'm so God-fearing. Oh, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. All while they live in the most nastiest, trifling lifestyle behind the scenes. That's number one way to make money. And number two, the other way to make money is off of black women's insecurities. So you tell black women, hey, you know what? You unworthy, you worthless, nobody like you, you ghetto, you ugly, you fat, you this, that, and the third, and then find some way to capitalize on the insecurities that you would put on them and say, hey, yes, you ugly, but I'm going to show you how to be pretty. Or yes, you got a bad attitude, but let me show you how to have a good attitude. Or yes, I know you lonely, ain't got no man. I'll show you how to get him in and all that other foolishness. And it just makes me mad that I see that black women still be falling for the okey doke. Still falling for the okey doke because
Right. Yeah.
yeah, because I
Well,
just
me
can't
too.
fathom.
It comes to a point that like it really shows me like how much love starve. Shout out to Storyteller for putting that vocabulary. And I didn't realize how much black women would love starve. When
Yep.
Until I seen what was happening online, and I seen how many women are going up to these panels, talking to these men, signing, going to these shows, and they are getting abused, just like they be going to church, just like the church is filled with a bunch of women literally praying for a man, like on their hands and knees, praying for the good Lord to bring them a man. and it really, it's really disturbing, not for nothing. And it is worse. There's people out there profiting off of that, and when I heard this story with her dropping 10K, I was like, okay, I figured he was a scammer. Okay. Just the fact that you talking about 10K, you charging people $10,000 to get with a man when all she got to do is just walk out her door. Like, all she got to do is walk out the house. I think a lot, not coaches, but the more it's the social media are spreading this narrative that black women are bitter, they're gonna unalive with their cats and be alone. I think the more these women are actually believing in that. Hey Sage. I think they actually believe in that. And that is why they are willing to cough up $10,000. I like to see black women coming together, trying to uplift like their own self-esteem and realizing their own self-worth, and to do all of that for a man. I think that's the reason why a lot of women be failing, because you make your whole life purpose for a man, and you making yourself vulnerable for any type of scam artist, or even the man himself will look at you that you're desperate for love, you desperate to hear nice words, and all I gotta do is just say a little bitty here and a little bitty there, and you willing to let me move into your house, let me move in with your kids, and I really do hope like this actually stops, but I kind of think that it is a shift though. A lot of women are just choosing to be single, and that's why they're pushing so hard for women to be in relationships, especially black women, because it is because I don't see what logical reason why a woman would pay $10,000 for a man. Like I'm saying, just to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's just say y'all get divorced within a year. Like, you did all that for what? You lost $10,000, or it could have went to something else more productive. It's just I ain't gonna lie. I need to kind of take a minute to process this, because when I heard that story, I was like, I didn't know you was gonna cover that story, and I just came from my live just talking Schmidt, and I just came from my live just talking Schmidt, and when I hear this, like, hear black women actually believe it, it really breaks my heart. I'm not gonna lie. It really breaks my heart, because the number one thing I like to talk about women about is about having self-love. Like, the number one person you should fall in love with is yourself. The number one person you should go to the gym for is yourself. You should basically live life for your own happiness. And I think that's where the missing component with a lot of women, like when me and you be talking, like, I know I didn't get married as long as you, I'm still a newlywed and everything. But I think, like, when we be talking about, like, yeah, I'm with a good man and we probably sound or happy and everything like that, it's because we already had love before we got with these men. That's the thing. I think a lot of, like I said, love starved is a real thing. I think a lot of women are looking for love, and they haven't found it within themselves. And I think that's the point of view where I guess we're coming from, because we already have went through the journey of having that self-love, and a lot of these women are not there yet. A lot of these women don't love themselves yet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I wholeheartely do. I just hope that, like, maybe like you and I and Supervillain and other ladies that come up, like Coach T and other women that come up on the lives, like, we can do something to maybe speak a little bit more life into the black women that are listening, because I just don't want to see people monetize black women's pain and suffering and anger and loneliness and all of that. I don't like to see that, and it makes me very upset. And also, something else that makes me upset is when black women attempt to explain their feelings or how they feel or how they've been harmed to men specifically. Most of the time black women are going to do that to black men. They're not going to really do it to a white man. But seeing the women, like when all the whole situation happened with, those guys that I don't feel like mentioning their names, but when I was on the live and the black woman was trying to explain to him how she felt let down by him, how he hurt her feelings, and how she didn't feel protected by him, and he really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I want black
I
women
am so
to.
itching to know who that is. I know you don't want to mention it, but
No,
I'm
it's a
girl.
his name starts with a C, and then the second name starts with an S.
They just hit me in my inbox,
And
girl.
I just say the guy that I just had all the beef with.
That one?
Yes, CS. Mm-hmm.
You heard how I just yelled. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that the
I'm
black
sorry.
lady that was on this panel, and
I'm
she
sorry.
was saying how upset she was with him, and he was just like he didn't care.
Yep,
And
and that's why he do what he do, because y'all be
yeah,
giving him that arrogant, you boosting his ego. He comes to the internet to be coddled. Let me not start. I'm a mute.
but yeah, I just I want black women to, I don't know, I just want them to be more, I guess, vigilant with guarding their hearts. I'm not saying you can't trust anybody. I'm not saying that there's not a man on this earth that you can trust. I'll be hypocritical to say that, being married. But I just feel like there's got to be a lot of vetting in place when it comes to things like that. A lot of vetting's got to be in place. And that's the reason why I also wanted to talk about it, because I know that now, we talk about, there are a lot of women that talk about, that they have, divested away from men in general, or, the 4B movement or whatever, which I'm fully behind all of those movements. I am. But I do know that there are still women that do want companionship from a man, or do want a partnership, or do want to be with someone. And I feel like a lot of times people don't speak to that particular demographic of women. And that's the reason why I wanted to make the topic today of women, black women not having intercourse with men, not having sex at all. Because I do believe that for women that are still going to engage, that is just like the best way, hands down, period. Like 100% success rate. Not too many things are have 100%, but 100% of you protecting yourself if you don't do that, in my opinion. I'm not saying that he can't let you down or hurt your feelings or whatever, but definitely nothing is gonna hit the same than if you did something with him. If you didn't do
No,
nothing, you did something with him. If you didn't do
no,
nothing
that's
with him,
yeah.
it's much easier to be like, yeah, okay, bye.
No, like you said, like I be saying that too on my panel, when dudes be sitting there be saying like, okay, we just gonna be sitting there be saying like, okay, we just gonna get married. And I say, yeah, you don't have to get married. I'm telling women not to open up their legs. I'm telling women, because last thing I want to do is try to like tell women what to do with their bodies. However, it gotta be some type of change in the way we move. You gotta have to do something differently, because obviously giving it up too easily is not working. Because you hear these men flipping the script, calling you a 304, and then when we talk about marriage and then talk about the subject of money, you hear how these men are saying that, well, I'm just not going to get married, but I will use women for recreational uses. And I'm like, that should tell you something, ladies. That should tell you something. Like, do not sleep with these men. These men are literally saying that they don't want you to have access to their money, their property, that you're literally so low value that they'll say, we'll just use you for smacks and nothing more. And that should be a red flag to say, nah, you know what? I'm going to keep myself to myself and not be with any man unless he wants to prove himself to be trustworthy. Don't be afraid to judge them harshly. I judge men harshly. I judged my husband harshly. We didn't start having smacks until when he close to his proposal. Honestly speaking. He like I said, I knew him since 2018. He was started paying my bills since 2020, and I just basically started having smacks with him in year was we in 2024. Like it was like damn near going to 2023. It was a long time. So with that being said, I think that was like the key of eliminating the process. See if a man is worthy enough to be with you or not. Honestly speaking, it's something about a woman not giving it up to a man really makes them behave not behave accordingly, because that's deception, but it will eliminate a man who does not like you and don't care about you, because a man that loves you will be patient. He will be very patient. He won't rush you. He won't ask you when you won't give it up. He won't try to scare you. Cause I think it's something to it. I think all of us like women, like all of the smart women I've noticed, they all saying the same thing. Is like, keep your legs closed. Don't be with these. Do not have sex with these men. 4B. Jazzy says it. You say it. My girl Goldie says it. All the women are saying the same type of advice. Do not give it up. Don't have sex with these men, because they are literally using you. They're saying it out loud on the internet. That should be enough.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that if we can make this like a very new, like, not that this is new because this ain't, people been doing this, but if we can make this kind of like a new wave, something that can like catch on, like be like almost pop culture almost for Black women, I think that Black women would be in a much, 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 much better state, truthfully. Like, I really, 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 really do. And another thing that I was gonna mention, I was scrolling today and I seen this live with this man. It was this bald-headed man named Michael. I seen him before, but I didn't know his name. I always kept scrolling. But this time I remember his name. This bald-headed man, older man, he had a gray like goatee, named Michael, and he was having this live with Saul was on there and some other pick-me's. And they were talking about, and some other like red pill dudes, and they were talking about how pick-me women are the best women. And this woman came up there, I think her name was like Serenity or something like that, and she was trying to explain to them that a pick me, because they were trying to make it like when women talk about pick me's, they're talking about women that are nice to their men or their husbands or whatever. And she was like, no, nobody's saying that. There's nothing wrong with being nice to your man. He's a good man to you. He treats you well. There's nothing wrong with that. And they was trying to would like throw you under the bus for a man's attention. Like if y'all somewhere and it's a guy around and she started talking about you or trying to embarrass you, then Saul started talking about you or trying to embarrass you. Then Saul started talking about, oh no, that's actually a good character, a good quality to have, because it's competition. Y'all are competing for somebody, and I guess basically y'all are competing for somebody, and I guess basically they the best woman win. And I'm thinking to myself, like, y'all are insane. And then he started talking about that it's the same for men. He started talking about how like a man trying to get with a woman or something like that, he'll start saying all this crazy stuff to get with her. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, that is dirty macking. So y'all are attributing being a pick me to dirty macking and all of that's okay? Like, what are y'all talking about? And it just really irritated me, because I was thinking to myself, like, these are the type of men that are out here in the world, like walking around free. And, women could come across these men and at first they may present to be normal or something they don't know, or they might be trying to hold in their true colors. And these are just so many reasons why women should do what I said. Because by the time, if you wait a little while, you been knew today was crazy.
Listen, I know exactly who Michael is. I used to be in his live. He was all right. And then he did a particular topic about the patriarchy isn't real. And I seen in how he was talking to the women that was up on there and the stuff that he was saying. I was like, I'm good. And I just blocked him, So yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
He was disrespecting the woman I'm talking about.
He would see exactly. He's starting to get his little content up, so his real personality is coming out. I didn't mind coming on his live because, like I said, he was actually tolerable. He was tolerable, not in a bad way. He was okay, but when I seen how the way he was talking to my like other sisters, I was like, block. That's all it took. That's all it took. It was that simple. And of course, these men, any man that tells you gotta be in competition with other women to get with him, one, that's G as fuck. I'm gonna say it like that. That's G as fuck. No man, a man ain't gonna tell you gotta compete for him. It's like you are saying that men are the prize, and that's G to me. I'm sorry, it is. I'm gonna say it just like that. And because I do not see men are the prize. I'm sorry, they're not. Men will never be the prize, no matter how much money they got. Women will always be the prize, because men who like women, love women, want companionship with them. So to even imply that you got to be in competition with other women to get to a man, that is completely bogus. They don't like the idea, like I said, and the reason why I'm saying is G, because these are the things that me and Supervillain be talking about on the side, that is a lot of straight presenting men, hetero presenting men, but they're actually on the down low giving these type of sound advice to men and saying this about women, because deep down inside they do not like women. So that can be easily spotted, but a lot of these women don't want to come off mean and just say the truth and say, yo, that's G. They want to be politically correct. They don't want to come off like they robophobic, so they just say, blah, blah, blah. No. It is what it is. It is what it is. That dude making advice like that is no different from Kevin Samuels, that other dude that got the $10,000. Yeah, no difference, So with that being said, like, I'm not surprised they was up there talking about pick me's make the best wives. Of course they want a woman. Of course, those type of men, those pretty princess dudes, want a woman to worship them, because they don't like the idea that they living in a society that they gotta have chivalry, that they gotta treat a woman nice. Like I said, I never came across a man that loves women have a problem treating a woman like she's the prize. Opening up, open up the door for her, making sure she's financially stable, making sure like she's treated well and making her feel comfortable. I've never came across a real hetero man that loves women operate like that. I mean, it's like I said, it's really weird. And the idea that is women out that go up there and battle this, it's even more, I would say, more disappointing, because women should not take that type of rage bait. That's ridiculous. If we know what a pick-me is, a pick-me woman is dangerous. Male-centered pick-me woman will put her children in danger for a man, and actually put other men in danger. The women that they're talking about that will put other men in danger are those pick-me, male-centered women that they're talking about. So that's a contradiction within itself. So they know what they're saying. They know what they're doing when they talk about these type of things. They know what they're doing. It's all rage baiting to come up there and give and coin. Like I said, a man that likes a woman do not behave this way. Maybe because I'm coming from a point of view that I've been around men who actually show that they like me, actually treated me well, and treat other women well because they actually like women. This type of attitude that the man is the prize is totally suspect. T Scorpio is saying it's not trigger. T Scorpio is saying it's any man that believes that the man is the prize. That's suspect. Do not listen to him. Do not listen to him at all. How are you going to say that you are the prize when you're asking me for your hand in marriage? That makes no sense. I'm telling you, these are the type of men, these are the men that we're talking about, that we say that they don't have to be sexually attracted to you to cause harm. They rhetoric is harmful. That's harmful is enough. That's harmful enough. The stuff that they are spewing, Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, all of these podcast dudes that's basically building platforms stating that the man is the prize, those are the men that are suspect. and they have the audacity to talk about Princella. She's G, and she's trying to turn other women G. Well, I'm saying it's the same thing with them. Y'all are trying to make men G. Straight up and down, other men G, because a man that feels like he shouldn't open up a door for a woman, that's insane. That's insane. These men want to be treated like they are the new women. I'm gonna just say it like that. That's weird to me. That's just like, ugh, never.
You know what? I remember when I saw this little interview of Fit, the Fit part, Myron from Fresh and Fit. And he was doing this interview, right? And he was talking about how the JJs are ugly and they look disgusting. And, he was giving all these reasons as to why they were disgusting looking. And I was thinking to myself, like, the fact that you didn't lose all of your male followers at that time blew my mind, because I'm like, well, and he was saying that the male genitalia was, better looking. And so my thing is that if you think that, sir, I have something. That's what men that are not sexually interested in women think. They don't like vajayjay. They like the other thing. They like what they have.
And
so I'm thinking to myself, like, sir, you just openly admitted what I already thought, that you definitely don't like women at all. And if you don't like women, that's not a problem. Living your truth, homie. But the problem is that you want to go and slander women because you're conflicted about coming out and telling everybody who you really are. You know what I'm saying? But I remember when I seen that clip, I should probably do a little short video on that. I mean, I already talked about that dude so much, but
my girl,
yeah, it's just crazy.
My girl Goldie calls them deep throat kings. I'm gonna post a video. She said deep throat kangs.
Oh my goodness. But it's crazy that nobody, literally, you're right. Who was that in the comments? Mo, that no one checks them. No one ever says anything to these men about this. Nobody says anything about Saul. You say that you all of that in a bag of chips. Why you always got your miserable behind on TikTok talking crazy about some women? Why you ain't somewhere living your best life with all of the women that you say want you? Because don't nobody want you. You ashy and you ugly and you got a nasty trifling spirit. And the same with that ugly bald-headed man Michael that I just saw today. Just miserable, dusty, ashy, trifling. And it's just but y'all want people to sit there and really listen to y'all like y'all got something to say. Y'all don't got nothing to say. Y'all are the most miserable Negroes on the planet. And honestly, if any of these men are single or looking for women, I swear this is exactly the reason why I say, because sometimes when men are okay, I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. Do y'all know that dude? I think his dad, what's his name? Okay, so he's short, he's fat, he's unattractive, he wear hats all the time. He be on TikTok all the time trying to give dating advice when he don't got no
one that talk about drizzle, he want to be taken care of too. And he was making fun of a woman that couldn't pay her bills or mortgage.
I think he wear glasses too.
Yeah, he's fat. He got a beard. He always wear a hat. He bald headed. Yeah.
Yes.
Always some bald headed heifers. Yeah, go ahead.
That guy. Yes. So one day I was talking about him, right? She's real nice. She had told me that she knew him in her personal life. She had said she had went out on a date, one date with him. In her personal life, she had said she had went out on a date, one date with him. She said he didn't act nothing like how he be acting online. But my thing is that the fact that he be presenting how he acts online is probably what he really want to be, but he's too ashamed or too afraid to feel like he can bring that energy into his real life. And so that's one of the main reasons why I really, really, truly feel like women should not have intercourse with men. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. Because all it would take is just a little while. I would say probably not even a month. Not even a month and a half, not even 90 days for sure, for any woman that was not engaging with that man on a sexual basis to realize that he's exactly the type of man that he represents online. Trifling, nasty, disgusting. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and that's the same goes for Saul or the Michael dude if he got somebody, and all these other weirdos that be online talking all this crazy stuff. Like, because the men, I really feel like the men like this, they hope that because society make you feel like, oh, y'all been on y'all third date, or oh, you don't want to lose this man, or oh, you don't want him to lose interest, so you got to go ahead and give it up real quick, or you got to go ahead when he asks you to. That's how they're able to get over and bamboozle women, because you don't have enough time to be able to see their true character. Because if you working and he working and y'all go out on a date for a couple hours and y'all go y'all separate ways and y'all do that 3 times, let's say y'all do it once each week, and the third time he talk about, yeah, y'all can do something, you don't know him. That's 6 hours of time that you've had to speak to him. You don't know that man in that short period of time. You don't know. So then when you do it and then you get okie doke and he shows his true colors either right after then or shortly after then, now you're sitting there being the flabbergasted, like, oh, this isn't the guy that I thought. Of course not. Because all you saw was a fake facade that he thought would give him easier access to your draws. You know what I'm saying? So I just really feel like this is just the best and most healthiest way to do it, because these men that we see online that we laugh at, like, and we kiki about, they are real men in real life, and they are going somewhere and they're running across women. Oh, you can go ahead, T.
That was actually an accident. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, these are real men. And I think a lot of time, like, we have to like, because sometimes when you have conversations, it'll always be people that'll be like, oh, that's online. In my real life, I don't know men like this. I haven't talked to men like this. Well, somebody talking to men like this. Somebody. Because these Negroes is everywhere online like roaches. They around. So it's like, and how many men do you possibly know that they may not feel comfortable to say how they feel on social media, but they may actually feel that exact way or even worse? Oh, I got to tell my dog to stop scratching her eyes. No. She got her allergies always act up around this time, spring and summer. So terrible. Anyway, sorry, y'all. I already gave her some allergy medicine, hopefully. No scratching. But anyway, yeah, that's all I'm saying, y'all. Hopefully, we can get, I guess, like, I don't know. I just want more women to adopt this philosophy. And like I said, because sometimes I mentioned this before, and another woman was like, oh, I don't want to hear about Christianity. This don't have anything to do with that. It don't have nothing to do with it at all. You can be a Christian. You could be a Muslim. You could be an atheist. You could be an agnostic. And this is going to work for you regardless, and it will be beneficial for you. You could be a Buddhist. Like, what are we talking about? Like, honestly.
You notice the correlation? They love bringing up the Bible. All of them.
Yes.
All of them love weaponizing that book.
And they ain't never even read it. They didn't even read it. They don't even do nothing by the Bible. They don't do nothing. They'll knock your head between the washer and dryer. They a cheater. They an adulterer. They a fornicator. They're an abuser. They smoke. They drink. They do narcotics. Everything. Okay? Everything under the sun. And turn around and talk about that. That's why I don't even listen. Like, it's so many men that talk about, like, yeah, women should be doing this, that, and the third, because the Bible say so. And that man ain't never read one scripture. He just listened to something that some dirtbag said and didn't want to turn around and use it or weaponize it against women. And I think that those men are some of the worst men ever of all time. But, I also think Hebrew Israelites are crazy too.
Yeah, most definitely.
I done got into it with so many of them. Like, they are literally delusional. You know what? I will tell y'all, like, one of my first, like, real interactions with realizing, like, how crazy Hebrew Israelite black men were is that I can't remember what happened. But me and my husband, we went to this like Black Lives Matter rally. I can't remember what it was for, man. Or was it just a regular black march? I can't remember, man. But anyway, it was during my time of me definitely trying to still be, saying more on the pro-black side. And so it was all these black people out here, black men, black women, all of us trying to, fight for black rights and all of this stuff. And so there was like this big old like podium speaker, and it was like all of these black people up there talking and stuff like that. And then it was like, a spattering of like white tea people, like the white tea people that want to help black people and all that type of thing. And so there was some white tea people that were in the corner on top of this like little podium stage area. And this guy that had the little outfit on, that he was a black Hebrew Israelite, had this big, huge, I'm talking about super dumb sign. It was so big with white people on it in chains, saying that like white tea people was going to be our slaves in heaven. I was like, oh my God. And the fact that he was doing it and these like white tea people was right there. And I'm really good at judging character when it comes to white tea people. Generally, I don't trust them, and I definitely don't rock with them or associate with them. I just don't, because it's just too many of them that are racist. But I have met some good white tea people in my life. You probably won't hear me say that often, but I have met a few. And I can tell, and those were not bad white tea people. And they looked so hurt and puzzled by what he was doing. And me and my husband was looking at each other like, bro, what is going on, man? What is going on?
And actually a lot of their philosophies, I hear what these men be talking about. I hear a lot of that Hebrew doctrine in them. And I'll be pointing it out, I said, oh, that's Hebrew doctrine, that the seed of the father makes the child black. That's the Hebrew doctrine.
Stupid.
Yes. It is. When I hear certain talking points what these men be saying, especially when they said the feminist movement is the one that broke up the black family, that's from the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. They the one who preached that, So I'm not new to hearing it, so I already knew where it came from. I was like, y'all sound like the Hebrews, like you're taking bits and pieces of the Hebrew doctrine. But and especially the one that says that if you lay down with a woman, that makes her your wife. Now that doctrine, that's the part that they don't want to follow. They don't want to follow that because, they believe in having sex. They want to have sex. And according to these men, they're not going to consider a woman their wife when they have sex with them. They don't. So they take bits and pieces of it and preach and try to make sound like they're extra intelligent. They want to sound all deep. Like, did you know black people was here in America before, with the natives? Did you know black people this? Did you know black people were that? Yes, I hear these talking points, and it's usually, it will attract a lot of black women and black men. Like I said, just black people, because, black people are in search of an identity because black people don't know where they came from. They know they just came from Africa.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't get with it. I also I don't even know if I ever said this either publicly, right? There was this was probably like a year ago. It was this black Hebrew Israelite black woman, and she would be in my comment stuff, and she would say like, I like your content, sister, but you need to focus more on our brothers and all of this other crazy stuff. And I can't remember what I had said to her. But it was after a while she started getting on my nerves. So I had said something to her, just basically like, stop commenting her, or I don't agree with her. I can't really remember what I said. I just remember this lady went in my DMs and she went crazy, man. She went crazy on me. She was calling me a snake and a devil, and I was the white T man's it rhymes with slur, but it starts with a WH. That's what she was calling me. And she was saying all this stuff. And I was like, I'm married to a black man. She was like, I don't care. You still the white T man's whatchamacallit. I was like, bro,
girl,
what is wrong with you?
Those women are being abused too. Those women are being abused the most. Those men would force them in so-called polygamous marriages without telling them, and they be using them. They be telling those women to submit their whole entire paycheck to them. So I wouldn't even definitely listen to them, because a lot of them are getting dragged and being used and abused. So yes, so yeah, you can't convince them of anything. They're literally programmed to be like that. They have no choice but to worship the black man, because they got a black man giving up their check. And just like any other pastor, they preying on the vulnerable women, because the number one thing the black women hear about the Hebrew Israelites is they marriage they marriage minded. So when these women hear that these Hebrew Israelites are in search of wives, they're going to flock to them, because why? These women want to get married. So I wouldn't even pay attention to them, trust me. Yeah. So with that being said, your girl, I know your girl, Kana, she says she's Hebrew. When I heard her talking, I say, yeah, I know that's the Hebrew when I hear it. A lot of these women, your girl, just the girl, whatever the case may be, when she had her hair covered up, I said, it's usually these women that's into that type of Hebrew kind of doctrine. Hebrew or Muslim doctrine usually push pick me content. They usually do, because according to the religion that they're following, makes them like that. So yeah.
That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I can't get with it. I can't get with it. Anybody that's trying to tell me that I got to be somebody doormat, or I got to be one of 17 other women, like, nah, bump that.
Oh yeah, if you get
I'm
beat up,
not
you can't
rocking.
do anything about it neither.
Yeah,
Get your
I'm
ass
not
beat.
rocking
You
with
can't
that.
do anything. I mean, all those women that's talking all of that stuff. If you ask any of those pick me women, what would you do if your man put his hands on you? Those women will stay. The answer is they will stay. You already heard your girl say, "I'd rather have my husband play me 20 times." And she never said how. She probably meant like he can slap me against the wall 20 times and I'll still stay. I mean, any woman that has that type of particular mindset, I already know you're a little bit mentally ill. I don't engage, because I know you coming from a place of mental illness. Honestly speaking, I'm gonna be honest with you. So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Couldn't be. I just,
Nah, it couldn't be. It's no type of. It's nothing you can tell me that if a man is treating you like a doormat, you want to stay just to say that you got a man. That Rashida shit, what's it called, Yandy stuff. Stop playing on my family. Can one family make it and threatening the whole world? Meanwhile, the dude is cheating on you is right there looking dumbfounded and lost. Girl, this is why I said I be trying so hard on my panel to push. I tackle love all the time, because I feel like these women that are looking for love or in love, yeah, coming from a place of delusion, coming from a place of desperation. You're coming from a place of brokenness. These women's spirit are so broken.
that
It's
is.
it's it's almost sad. I almost want to feel bad for them.
You know what I think, when it comes to love, like, when it comes to love, like, now I don't know if you and I agree on this matter, T, but if not, I'll just say I'm speaking for myself. I think that love between a man and a woman can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
However,
I'm sorry. You know what?
and a woman can be a beautiful thing.
I'm
However,
sorry. You know what? I
oh,
should address that. Like, love is beautiful, but I tell women, you deal with men based off logic, and let that man earn your love.
yes,
Let
I
that
agree with
man
that.
earn your love. You have to judge men based off your logic. You have to be cold when you dealing with men. Because men will weaponize your emotions against you. Because I see it on my panel all the time when I talk about this topic. These men come in, they all hopeless romantics. But when you hear these men talking on other panels, they say that we don't expect our wives to leave us. Okay, it's not about love. Marriage is not about love. You got to put your emotions aside. But yet when they get on my panel, they all in their feelings and emotions because they don't want a woman logical. They want an emotional woman. As much as they're saying, well, you're too emotional, they need you to be emotional so they can control you. And I'm telling women, no, you deal with men based off your logic, because if you're in love, you're going to be a little bit delusional. You're blind, deaf, and dumb to logic and reason. You have to deal with men based off your intelligence, because if you're logical, you're going to pinpoint everything. What's wrong? You're going to pinpoint everything. But when you're emotional, you see past the red flags. And that's talking about, but in love, but listen, if you dealing with a man, you have to kind of push that to the side. And I say this, I felt like I chose the best man when I put my emotions to the side, because I was able to think rationally. I chose right because I used my logic. I chose this man based off how he was treated me, how he treats me, not based off how I feel, is how he treated me.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally get what you're saying. Now I think we may differ slightly, but I still think it's all in the same vein. Okay, well, let me say this first. I think that love between a man and a woman can be a beautiful thing. It can be a real thing. Making sure, though, that it is built on something that is not imbalanced and is built on something solid, and also is built on the man having already displayed with actions, not words, on how he feels about you. Because actions, not words, on how he feels about you, because I don't believe that men say how they feel about you. And I think that's where a lot of women get things twisted and tripped up. They'll listen to a man that says, oh, this, or you mean this to me, you mean that to me, but he never shows that with his actions. So I believe that men are very action based in the way they actions. So I believe that men are very action based, and the way that you can see how a man feels is the way he treats you and the things that he does for you, whether that's financial, whether that's emotional support, or it's really all of it all, whether that's emotional support, or it's really all of it all in conjunction, working together, in my opinion. So I feel like if you have thoroughly vetted a man, you have firm boundaries in place. You have watched his actions and how he, shows how much he supposedly cares for you in practice. I believe that you can have a loving relationship with a man, but I do believe that in having a loving relationship with a man, AKA y'all both being in love, I do believe as a woman, this is just my opinion. Now, people can say it's not true or not, but I think that you always need to have a man that really, 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 really like you. Maybe even a little bit more than you like him. But definitely, he really, 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 really likes you. And that's one aspect to it. And I think another aspect is that as a woman, you can never allow yourself, in my opinion, to get so wrapped up in a man that you feel like if you had to make an exit that you couldn't. I don't feel like you should ever put yourself in a mental state that you feel like, how you'll have some women that'll say like, I can't breathe without him. I won't be able to live without him. So if he cheated on me, I just have to accept it because I couldn't live without him. Yeah, no, you've already lost if you think that way. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I'm not saying that you can't love this person, but you cannot love anybody more than you love your own self and your own self-respect. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no problem, T. That's just how I feel. And so I do feel like a man and woman can definitely be in love. You can find your person, you can find your soulmate. But, I think that it requires a lot of vetting. It requires a lot of you as a woman, a lot of you paying attention. And there are just certain things I just feel like in this day and age, it's not intelligent for you to do as a woman, because anyone can disappoint you. You may feel like they can't, but anyone has the the, capability of it. So you can't allow yourself to think like you have to look at all sides, the negatives, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, what if this, and make sure that you always keep yourself mentally and emotionally strong enough to make a move if you absolutely had to. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And I say that as somebody that has a successful marriage now, but I also had a previous marriage where, I divorced him and he wasn't no good. And you know, I see both sides. And sometimes, because if dogged out, used and abused, you know what I'm saying? If I told myself like, oh, I can't go, or I can't leave, I can't, or if I just had listened to the words that he said instead of the actions that he showed. Cause he was always talking about some, I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I unalive for you. I do this for you. And it didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just words that he was just saying. But anyway, oh, y'all said TikTok's acting up? Okay. I'm gonna go over here to Pia. Go ahead, Pia.
Okay, thank you. I heard what both of you ladies are saying, and I want to say I agree, but now it's not even about me agreeing. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you guys for being intelligent. I hear T all the time, very intelligent young ladies, and I'm so proud of you. And I wanted to add to it because T was talking about love, and what it is that a lot of stuff that's being described. The thing of it is there's ladies out there that think that it is love. It is love what they're feeling, and it actually is not. When you say I can't live without someone else, when you have a fear of abandonment, when you're seeking external validation, when you have low self-esteem, you have a problem with forming healthy relationships, you'll let a guy run all over you. That's all describing symptoms of daddy issues. So a lot of girls are thinking they're in love and what their experience is love. No, all of that extreme attachment to a person in that type of way to where it's like it's unhealthy. You think that you can't survive without that person and you'll let them abuse you, use you. That person doesn't have to have any type of requirements to be with you. They could be broke. They can be a guy that doesn't know how to read or write. He has no future ahead of himself. He just uses you for your money, for whatever you have. That's a girl responding to abandonment issues. That is not love. She's mistaking it for love, but it's abandonment issues. And I think that's why it's so hard for a lot of girls, even if they did have their dad, but if their dad was like abusive towards them, they can still have a daddy issues, and they can still have abandonment issues or emotional issues. What I heard, and I hear you say, T, as well, is that when you're in your relationship, what saved you is just being logical, but actually you were being emotional too, but you have what's called emotional intelligence. You were able to regulate your emotions. So you still used your emotions, but you use your emotions in a very profound, in a clever, smart, intelligent, strategic way so that you won't get hurt yourself and let anyone play you. So you regulated your emotions. So you use emotional intelligence and logical to pick the right mate for you, to what your standards are. And that's why I keep on saying I'm so proud of you guys, because you guys actually understand that. You understand you have to regulate your emotions. You can't just attach to anybody. Someone has to show you that they're worth being with you, and that's why I said I'm seeing the younger generation of BLK women actually becoming very smart with their emotions and saying, no, 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 I'm not letting anyone run all over me. I'm not going to be loyal to you just because we have the same skin color. I'm not going to be a pick-me. I'm not going to be a mammy. No, no, no. So that's why I keep on saying I'm so proud of you guys, that you guys are able to evaluate yourself psychologically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and physically too. Protect your bodies. And I think you guys are going on the right path, and I just congratulate you guys all for that. All the young ladies just doing that, all the young Black ladies. So that's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pia. You guys, okay, I hit an hour, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. And I might come back later today, or if I don't come back later today, I'll come back tomorrow with a new. Well, I already got a topic, so I might come back either today or tomorrow with the new topic. All right, you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, T, coming up. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, T. Thank you so much, Pia, as well,
Yes.
for coming up too.
Thank you, sweetie. You guys have a good night.
You too. And thanks, Carmel Mermaid, in the comments. I think I saw Miss Good News and Cookie and yeah, 200 Maya and shoot, Vernell Vane. Appreciate you too. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'll see y'all later.